Hello and welcome back to FDE TV. As we all know, we are living in one of the most exciting and challenging times we've ever been in, where technology is creating new opportunities to unlock value through control, innovation and insight, and where governments are implementing new standards to ensure that we all lead safer and greener lifestyles. In this episode of FDE TV, we have come to the European offices of Jaguar Land Rover to speak with Simon Dransfield. Simon is the General Manager of Fleet and Business Europe at JLR, and we ask him to shed some light on the latest fleet industry developments, the biggest challenges that fleet directors and CFOs face when managing their fleet, as well as JLR's latest addition, a compact SUV E-Pace, which looks just great. But first, we ask Simon to talk us through the importance of continuous innovation at JLR and the key innovation initiatives they have at the moment.
Innovation is critical for Jaguar Land Rover, and I think it's the heart of how we've grown our business. Back in 2009 we were selling 160,000 cars, and we've tripled that in the last 5-6 years. And clearly that's driven by products, innovative products with innovative components within them. So it's absolutely at the heart, and Jaguar Land Rover is the largest investor in research and development in the whole of the automotive industry in the UK. So I believe that probably the strongest dynamic that we have from an innovation perspective can be seen at two levels: one at the manufacturing, and then secondly in the driver and what we actually deliver. So in the factory, clearly there's innovations in clean and lean manufacturing, where we recycle aluminium to the point that we can now go forward with 75% recycling of aluminium in all new vehicles going forwards. And the second element is in the connected car. The connected car will deliver significant benefits to the driver of the vehicle in terms of his environment, his entertainment, and also his whole experience of both the Jaguar and Land Rover products. And then from a fleet operator perspective, a financial director, a fleet manager, they have the ability to actually understand how the car is performing and how the car is being operated by the drivers of their company cars.
So what are the biggest challenges that organizations face when managing their fleet?
I think it's been always the same challenges. The same challenges, first and foremost, are probably driven by managing the costs of the fleet and managing them in a transparent and fair way. Clearly there are a lot of operators out there that can provide services to support this insight, but also it's about smartness of developing fleet policies that are attractive not just to the company but also to the drivers.
When making decisions on fleet, TCM, TCO, reducing the CO2 emissions and many other aspects come into play. But what are the biggest influences that CFOs and fleet directors have to take into account?
We have historically worked with fleet managers to determine car policy. However, fleet finance directors are very much the sign-off on any policy and have become more engaged, I believe, in terms of what the appropriate fleet policy is for their business. So we work very closely with the finance directors when the opportunity arises. I think finance directors clearly want to operate a cost-effective fleet policy. But clearly there are parameters in which they've got to operate, which could be from an environmental perspective, it could be from a HR perspective, and clearly those have a dynamic against necessarily operating what type of fleet and what brands are represented in there. So it is working together in a collaborative basis with a number of people inside any organisation to ensure that the appropriate policy is in place.
In June this year, Jaguar has released the new E-Pace, which is a unique model as it sits between the sports and lifestyle pillars. So we ask Simon to talk us through the concept behind the invention, as well as what makes it so special.
It was only 12 months ago that we introduced the Jaguar F-Pace, the first SUV for the brand, and it's been a significant success. I mean, the SUV segment is the fastest growing segment in the premium market globally, and clearly Jaguar are addressing that through the introduction of the E-Pace, which enters at €35,000, so an incredibly competitive proposition. An ideal customer is a customer who actually selects a Jaguar, I think is the first point I would make. I think really what we're looking for is a wider portfolio of customers. Jaguar historically has been very much a male-orientated brand, but now very much with the e-Pace, we see 50% of our source of sales coming from the female customer, and clearly that is absolutely giving us a lot stronger opportunity to build a successful offer.
So how will the world of fleet evolve in the years to come?
The evolution of the fleet market in the years to come is going to be really quite an interesting environment, and it's probably going to be more dynamic than it's ever been in the 30 years that I've been in the industry. If we look at autonomy, if we look at the mobility requirements, and then what options that gives to both the drivers and to companies in terms of how that's applied. And then also in terms of the evolution of the powertrains with the batteries and the PHEVs, the dynamics is fundamentally going to change. I mean, clearly though, everybody's still looking to achieve the same, which is about satisfying the driver, satisfying the customer, and matching the demands of the business to constantly drive costs down.
Given the current industry developments we've seen, it is safe to say that we will see more change in the automotive sector in the coming 5 years than we've seen in the last 15. The accelerated rise of new technologies, as well as sustainability policies and changing consumer preferences, has meant that organizations embracing increased digitalization and automation is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. With companies like Jaguar incorporating all of this into their latest innovations, as we've seen with the likes of the e-Pace, we like to think that the automotive industry can indeed continue to adapt to these ever-evolving technology-driven trends.